Hi, in this video, we're going to talk about interruptions. So there may be times when you need to interrupt someone or you need to deal with an interruption. Interruptions can be seen as rude, so it's very important that you have a polite phrase to deal with interruptions. So in this video, we're going to look at some reasons that you may need to interrupt someone or deal with an interruption, and also some common phrases that you can use for these interruptions. So, first of all, a reason that you may need to interrupt someone is giving a message to someone. This happens a lot at work. So for instance, maybe you have two coworkers who are having a conversation, and you need to give a message to one of them. You might say something like, "I'm sorry to interrupt, but Mr. Jones is on the phone." And this lets the coworker know that there's a message for them and there's a reason for your interruption. So some common phrases here are, "I'm sorry to interrupt, but," "sorry for the interruption," "pardon me, but," or "excuse me, but." Another reason that you may need to interrupt is to ask a quick, necessary question. This could be something like in the same example, if you have coworkers who are having a conversation, you may need to ask a quick question that is not related to that conversation. So you may say, "I'm sorry to interrupt, but I just need to know where the extra paper is." Or you may say, "Sorry for the interruption, I just have a quick question." Another reason that you may need to interrupt or may want to interrupt is if you're in a conversation and you want to give your opinion on what's being said. And so here, you could say something like, "Could I add something?" or "May I jump in?" You want to ask permission for giving your opinion and interrupting when someone else is speaking. And remember, if that person doesn't want you to interrupt at that time, wait until they're finished speaking to give your opinion. Another reason that you may want to interrupt is if there's a conversation already going and you want to join that conversation. So maybe your friends are already talking and you want to join their conversation. Or maybe your coworkers are having a conversation and you listen in and want to add something and want to be part of that conversation. So in this situation, you could say, "Would you mind if I joined you?" Or "Sorry to butt in, but," and so these are some common ways and polite ways that you can join a conversation. Sometimes also you'll have to deal with interruptions in a conversation. So you may need to interrupt someone who has interrupted you. So maybe they didn't ask permission to interrupt and give their opinion. So you may want to say something like, "Would you please let me finish?" Or "Please let me finish." Or "I'd like to complete my thought first, and then I'd like to hear your opinion." Remember to be friendly and polite with these phrases, but also be firm about the fact that you want to finish what you're saying first. On the other hand, you may decide that you want to allow an interruption. So maybe a friend asks you, "Could I give my opinion on that?" And you can say, "Sure, what do you think?" Or "No problem, go ahead." And so these are some ways that you can allow an interruption in your conversation. Also, if you do allow that interruption in your conversation, you may want to continue after that interruption. And so that's the last point, is continuing after an interruption has been made. And so in order to do this, you could say something like, "As I was saying," or "I'd like to continue my thought." So these are some common ways that you can deal with interruptions that have been made in a conversation, or if you need to interrupt a conversation for a particular reason. So, if you liked this video, please share it with your friends and also leave a comment for me. Thanks.